Imagine for a moment that everything you know about the past, the present, and the future is nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion. The clock on your wall ticks steadily, the sun rises and sets, and your life seems to follow a linear path. But what if I told you that the way we perceive time might be completely different from the way the universe actually experiences it? Today on Cosmic Horizon Hub, we are diving deep into one of the most mind-bending questions ever asked. Is time an illusion? At first, it sounds like science fiction, but the truth is stranger than anything you could imagine. From the bending of spacetime in Einstein's theory of relativity to the flickering quantum world at the smallest scales, time might not exist in the way we think it does. In fact, the very concept of now could be a trick our brains play on us to make sense of a chaotic cosmos. But before we jump into these cosmic mysteries, let's take a step back and ask ourselves, what is time really? Most of us define it by clocks, calendars, and routines. It's the heartbeat of our daily life. We measure it in seconds, minutes, and hours. We mourn the past, anticipate the future, and live in the present. But science tells us that this familiar march of time might be nothing more than a human construct. In physics, especially in the realm of Einstein's general relativity, time is not a separate, absolute entity. It is intertwined with space itself, forming the four-dimensional fabric we call spacetime. Imagine spacetime as a flexible sheet. Massive objects like stars and planets bend this sheet, creating curves. This bending is what we perceive as gravity. But here is the mind-blowing part. Time runs differently depending on how this sheet is stretched or curved. A clock closer to a massive object, like a planet, ticks more slowly than a clock far away. This is not theory, it's been proven experimentally using precise atomic clocks. Astronauts on the International Space Station experience time slightly faster than people on Earth. Time in this sense is not universal. It is relative. So if time can bend, stretch, and flow at different rates, how can we trust our experience of it? Our everyday perception of a fixed now is nothing more than a local phenomenon. On a cosmic scale, the past, present, and future might all exist simultaneously. Think of a movie reel. Each frame represents a moment in time. To the characters in the movie, each frame unfolds sequentially. But from an external viewpoint, the entire film exists at once. Could our universe be like that reel, with all moments existing simultaneously and our consciousness simply moving through it in a linear way? This idea isn't just philosophy, it's rooted in physics. Julian Barbour, a theoretical physicist, has suggested that time is an illusion and that the universe is a series of static nows. According to Barbour, what we call motion or change is just a sequence of configurations, each complete in itself, giving the appearance of time passing. It's a radical idea, but it aligns with certain interpretations of quantum mechanics, where the concept of time becomes blurry at the smallest scales. Speaking of quantum mechanics, let's journey even deeper. In the quantum world, particles exist in a state of probability until measured. Events don't unfold in a neat linear order. Instead, possibilities coexist, and the act of observation determines which one manifests. Some interpretations suggest that on a fundamental level, there is no universal clock ticking away. The flow of time we perceive emerges only when large numbers of particles interact in a complex system, like a brain or a star. This means that at the most basic level, time might be meaningless. Now, this raises a mind-boggling question. If time is an illusion, why do we experience it as so real? Part of the answer lies in entropy, the measure of disorder in a system. The second law of thermodynamics tells us that entropy in a closed system tends to increase. In simpler terms, things naturally go from order to disorder. Ice melts, stars burn fuel and age, civilizations rise and fall. This directional arrow of entropy gives us the sensation of time moving forward. Without it, we might perceive everything as static with no past or future. So time might be an emergent property, a convenient illusion arising from the statistical behavior of countless particles. Imagine watching a sandcastle slowly crumble. Each grain's motion is chaotic and unpredictable, but collectively, they create the impression of irreversible time. That's your brain wiring an arrow of time from microscopic randomness. But what about the strange phenomenon of time dilation in relativity? If an astronaut travels near the speed of light, they age slower than someone on Earth. From their perspective, only a few years might pass while decades have gone by on our planet. This isn't hypothetical. It's been verified through experiments with high-speed particles and precise atomic clocks on airplanes and satellites. Here, time is not absolute, it's subjective, dependent on speed and gravity. What does this mean for our perception of life and reality? It means the past isn't gone and the future isn't coming. They coexist in a malleable fabric, and what we experience as the present is just a localized slice. Now, you might wonder, if time is an illusion, what about causality? What about cause and effect? Surprisingly, even in physics, causality can become fuzzy. In certain interpretations of quantum mechanics, events aren't strictly ordered. Some experiments with entangled particles suggest that under the right conditions, what we think of as cause can appear to follow effect. It's as if the universe sometimes bends the rules, and our linear intuition of past, present, and future fails. But fear not on the macroscopic scale of stars, planets, and humans. Time still behaves in a predictable way, allowing life, history, and science to exist. Now let's shift our gaze from the cosmos to the human mind. Our perception of time is deeply tied to memory and consciousness. Infants and children experience time differently than adults. Moments can feel like hours when we are bored, or days can vanish in an instant when we are engrossed. Neuroscientists believe that this perception is shaped by the way our brain encodes and recalls events. What we call now is actually a construction, a stitched-together narrative from countless sensory inputs. In a sense, our consciousness moves through a sequence of snapshots, giving the illusion of a flowing river, when in reality, it might be more like a slideshow with gaps filled by memory. And here's another twist. If time is an emergent phenomenon from complex systems, then could advanced civilizations or artificial intelligences perceive time differently? Could there be entities that experience multiple nows simultaneously, or that see the past and future as clearly as we see the present? The universe might be teeming with perspectives of time that we can barely comprehend, making our own experience just one of many possible interpretations. Let's bring it back to the cosmic scale. Black holes, those enigmatic regions of spacetime, provide the ultimate laboratory for understanding time. Near the event horizon, gravity is so intense that time slows dramatically relative to distant observers. A person falling into a black hole would perceive seconds passing, while outside observers might see years elapse. At the singularity, our equations break down and time as we know it ceases to exist. Could the universe itself be a vast collection of such extremes, where time is not a constant but a variable bending and stretching according to energy, mass, and geometry? The more we explore, the less certain we become about the nature of time. Even the cosmic expansion of the universe complicates things. The Big Bang happened roughly 13.8 billion years ago, but in a timeless sense, the universe might simply be a static entity, with our perception of expansion and evolution being part of the same illusion. In fact, some cosmologists propose a block universe model, where the entire spacetime continuum exists at once. In this model, past, present, and future are equally real, and what we perceive as the passage of time is merely our journey through the block. This challenges everything we assume about free will, destiny, and the unfolding of events. Are our choices real, or do we navigate a pre-existing tapestry where every moment already exists? It's a question that blurs the lines between physics, philosophy, and consciousness. And yet, despite all these mind-bending theories, our lives are anchored by time in a practical sense. We schedule, we age, we grow, we die. Even if time is an illusion, it's a useful one like a map that guides us through the territory of existence. Without it, we would be lost in a dimensionless void. So, why does any of this matter? Understanding time isn't just an academic exercise. It reshapes our perspective on life, the universe, and everything in between. If time is fluid, relative, or emergent, then perhaps the way we approach our past regrets, future anxieties, and present joys should change. We might see life less as a countdown of minutes and more as a collection of meaningful experiences stitched together by consciousness. Before we wrap up, consider this. If time is an illusion, then the universe is far more malleable than we ever imagined. Every theory, from relativity to quantum mechanics, hints at a cosmos where now is just a local construct. Entropy is the arrow guiding our perception, and black holes are doorways to understanding the fluidity of existence. We live in a universe that is stranger, more elegant, and more mysterious than any clock could ever measure. So the next time you glance at a watch, remember, the ticking hand may not be counting seconds at all. It might be just a shadow of a deeper reality. a whisper of the infinite complexity of spacetime. Time, as we experience it, may be a story our brains tell to make sense of the universe, a narrative stitched from the chaos of quantum possibilities and cosmic events. And that is the beauty of it. Our minds, our science, and our imagination converge to create the illusion of a flowing river, when the truth might be a vast, unchanging ocean of moments, each existing simultaneously. Now, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. If time is not absolute, if past, present, and future exist together, how would that change the way you live your life? Would you chase deadlines or savor each instant? Would regrets hold you back, or would you see them as moments already set in the cosmic tapestry? The universe may be telling us that life is less about the passage of time and more about the experience within it. If you found your mind bending and stretching as you listened to this, if you felt the tug of reality questioning itself, then you've taken the first step into understanding the strange, beautiful illusion we call time. Don't forget to comment below with your thoughts on this mind-bending concept. Do you believe time is real, or is it all just an illusion? Hit that like button if you enjoyed this journey through space-time, and make sure to subscribe to Cosmic Horizon Hub for more explorations into the universe's deepest mysteries. Because out there, in the endless expanse of stars, black holes, and quantum possibilities, the adventure is only beginning, and the more we question, the more the cosmos reveals. Remember, every second you think you experience is a gift and illusion, perhaps, but one that allows you to witness the grandeur of a universe far beyond comprehension. So, as we continue to gaze into the depths of space and time, let's embrace the mystery. Let's question the very fabric of reality, and above all, let's never stop exploring.